Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CCISO Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the exam with focused explanations and practical context. Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CCISO Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the exam with focused explanations and practical context. The NIST Risk Management Framework, often referred to as RMF, is a structured process developed to manage information security risk in a disciplined and repeatable manner. Created by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, RMF is formally defined under Special Publication 837. It was originally developed to guide federal agencies but has since been widely adopted by private sector organizations due to its thorough approach and alignment with best practices. The framework integrates tightly with the Federal Information Security Modernization Act, or FISMA, and leverages control sets from NIST Special Publication 853. These connections help ensure that organizations meet federal compliance requirements while maintaining flexibility for broader adoption. The purpose of RMF is not just to create documentation. It is designed to align security decisions with the organization's risk tolerance and business objectives. At the executive level, this alignment ensures that risk decisions support the mission of the organization and remain auditable, strategic, and well-documented. For the Chief Information Security Officer, the NIST Risk Management Framework serves several critical purposes. First, it enables clear and traceable accountability for risk decisions, especially at the system level. Through the RMF, the CISO can ensure that authorization to operate a system is not given lightly, but based on documented evidence and accepted risk. Second, RMF provides a repeatable process for making risk decisions that are not only structured but also auditable. This is essential when presenting risk management efforts to boards, auditors, or regulators. RMF also supports the broader goals of governance and compliance. It creates a common language and process that helps connect technical controls to high-level business objectives. By using the RMF, CISOs can align the security program with organizational goals and demonstrate how controls protect business value. The framework also ensures traceability from the identification of risks to the selection and implementation of controls. This transparency allows executives to see how their decisions shape the security posture of the enterprise. At the heart of the NIST RMF are 7 key steps. The first step is prepare, which focuses on organizational and system-level readiness. It includes activities such as defining roles, identifying resources, and determining priorities. The second step is categorize, where each information system is evaluated based on the potential impact of a breach in confidentiality, integrity, or availability. This is typically done using the guidance from FIPS Publication 199. The third step is select, in which appropriate baseline security controls are chosen using NIST Special Publication 853. These controls are selected based on the system's categorization. The fourth step is implement, where selected controls are deployed and configured. This involves coordination across security, IT, and business teams. The fifth step is assess, in which an independent evaluation of control implementation and effectiveness is conducted. The sixth step is authorize, where a designated executive, typically known as the authorizing official, makes a formal decision to operate the system based on the risk analysis. The final step is monitor, which involves continuous assessment and adjustment of controls as the system and its risk environment evolve. Roles and responsibilities are clearly defined within the RMF to ensure accountability. The authorizing official is the executive with the authority to accept risk on behalf of the organization. This person makes the final decision about whether a system can operate under known conditions. The system owner is responsible for ensuring that the selected controls are properly implemented within the system. The Information System Security Officer, or ISSO, manages the daily operations of the risk program, ensuring ongoing compliance and supporting documentation. The control assessor is responsible for conducting formal evaluations of how well the selected controls have been applied and how effective they are. Finally, the CISO oversees the entire process, ensuring alignment with governance, providing executive communication, and validating that risk decisions support organizational goals. These clearly defined roles ensure that each phase of the RMF is carried out with clarity and accountability, which is critical for both effectiveness and compliance. One of the most critical steps in the RMF process is system categorization, which has direct implications for executives. Categorization is based on the potential impact to confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Each is rated as low, moderate, or high, depending on how damaging a failure in that area would be to the organization. These impact levels then guide the selection of appropriate controls, affecting both the rigor and the cost of implementation. For example, a system categorized as high impact requires stronger protections and more robust documentation. The categorization process informs resource allocation, as systems deemed more critical require more attention and funding. It also shapes the organization's tolerance for residual risk. Decisions made during categorization must align with the business value of the system and the risk appetite of the organization. But executive-level review of categorization results ensures that protection levels reflect actual business priorities, not just technical assumptions. When categorization is accurate, security measures are proportional and effective. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyber-author.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. The process of selecting and tailoring controls is central to effective RMF implementation. Controls are initially chosen based on the system's impact level, using the baseline control sets defined in NIST SP 853. However, these controls must then be tailored to reflect the organization's unique context, threats, and business requirements. Tailoring involves removing controls that are not applicable and enhancing others that may require additional specificity. In some cases, overlays are used. These are sets of controls designed to address specific conditions, such as cloud environments, privacy concerns, or classified data. Tailoring ensures that the controls provide meaningful protection without unnecessary overhead. It also allows organizations to align their security program with legal obligations and business objectives. The CSO plays an essential role in validating these control sets, ensuring that selected controls provide the right balance between security, compliance, and business enablement. Without executive review, controls may be misaligned or incomplete, reducing their effectiveness and increasing risk. Continuous monitoring is not just a technical task, it is a strategic function that enables real-time risk awareness. In the RMF, monitoring involves tracking the effectiveness of implemented controls, identifying changes in the environment, and responding to new threats. Where possible, organizations automate these processes using tools that monitor system health, generate alerts, and collect performance data. Detecting degradation in control effectiveness is vital, as even strong controls can weaken over time due to configuration drift, new threats, or personnel changes. When monitoring reveals issues, risk posture updates must be communicated to governance stakeholders. This ensures that decisions about remediation or reauthorization are made quickly and based on accurate data. Lessons learned from control failures or near misses should be fed back into the ISSS lifecycle, supporting continuous improvement. The CISO is responsible for ensuring that monitoring results are understood by executive teams and that action is taken when risk levels exceed acceptable thresholds. Integration of RMF into broader governance and compliance frameworks strengthens the entire security program. RMF serves as a foundation for security governance by providing structure, documentation, and decision pathways. It also ensures consistency with other GRC initiatives. Many of the activities defined in the RMF map directly to compliance requirements in laws and regulations such as FISMA, HIPAA, and the Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program. This mapping supports audit readiness. When organizations document RMF activities properly, they build an evidence base that simplifies regulatory reporting. Beyond compliance, RMF supports strategic decision-making by providing a transparent view of the organization's risk landscape. Executives can see which systems are most vulnerable, which controls are working, and where investment is needed. This visibility allows for better prioritization and more defensible decisions in both security and business contexts. Despite its value, implementing the RMF at an executive level comes with challenges. Large organizations may struggle with the complexity of applying the framework across many systems. Each step requires coordination, documentation, and communication, which can vary in quality depending on personnel and processes. One challenge is maintaining consistent documentation and reporting standards. Without standardization, data cannot be easily compared or trusted. Another challenge is securing stakeholder engagement, particularly during the risk acceptance process. Executives may be reluctant to formally accept residual risk, especially when consequences are unclear. The framework also requires balancing operational needs with formal timelines. For example, business units may want to launch new systems quickly, but RMF authorization steps take time. Finally, there is the risk of implementing RMF as a checklist exercise, focused solely on compliance without strategic alignment. When this happens, the organization may meet audit requirements, but fail to improve actual risk posture. For SEAA CISO candidates, understanding the NIST RMF is essential. The exam frequently tests recognition of RMF steps and associated responsibilities. Candidates should be able to identify terms such as authorization, categorization, and continuous monitoring, and explain how they function in a risk management context. Scenario-based questions may describe a system and ask the candidate to choose the appropriate control set or determine whether the system is ready for authorization. Strategic decision-making is emphasized, including how to handle residual risk, when to escalate concerns, and how to communicate with governance stakeholders. RMF is also tested as an integrative concept. It connects governance, risk, and compliance into a single, actionable framework. Candidates who understand these relationships are better prepared not only to pass the exam, but also to serve as effective executive leaders in their organizations. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cyber Season CISO Prepcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com.